All right, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. This particular video is kind of a follow-up to the one that I did recently about Tyler Perry needs to hire more writers. And I have to say that hell of a discussion in the comment section. I responded to most everyone. I mean, at first there were like 30 comments, then 50. Now there's, I want to say, close to 70, if not more comments when you combine the actual original comments and then the discussions I was having, and then other people joined in. And I just want to say thank you so much. Like, that video might not be like one of the biggest ones on the channel in terms of views, but in terms of discussion, it was good. Maybe I'll do a live stream in the near future talking about the particular subject, but that was a discussion that needed to be had. Before going further in the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. Let's try to get to 50 likes. I think 50 likes is a obtainable number here. Hit the subscribe button because we hit one. Oh yeah, we're almost, we need about 2,500 more people to hit 140,000 subscribers. Select the bell icon and hit all. That way you are notified when I post content. And finally, links to all my social media, well, they're going to be in the description box below. But I was actually talking with some people on Instagram about this, and 3 people actually, because at first it was just one, but then 2 other people chimed in with this as well. They were saying that Tyler Perry, if he wants to write, then let him write. But what he could do is shift gears when it comes to the producer and director credits, because, you know, Chip and Kim Fields, aka Regine, and her mother from Living Single, who I didn't know that I remember years ago I found out that, oh, Khadijah and Regine, like, their mothers on Living Single are actually their mothers in real life. But I didn't know. I knew Kim Fields did directing, because I remember a long time ago looking at House of Pain Wikipedia and then seeing her name, but then I didn't know Chip was the name of her mother, aka another person who works in the industry. I'm like, oh, so looking at like Young Dylan and then House of Pain, when I look at the director credits and whatnot, Tyler isn't necessarily there all the time. He might be on some episodes, but for the most part, he's in the written category, like written by Tyler Perry. But then when it comes to like director, producer, or whatever, it's someone else. Like, there are at least 3 or 4 people I've seen different names pop up. So that actually might be a benefit. And again, not trying to tell the man what to do, but going back to the video comments, I just love the fact that people said, no, 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 no. Your criticism and your opinion is valid. And I really like that, because the video itself, I think the video overall did what it was supposed to do. And that was to not make it come off as I was some entitled fan who's hating on a black man. Oh, you know, because Tyler's so successful. And while it is true, the bigger you are, the bigger your target, as in people try to bring you down. It's like, oh, when you're up and coming, you know, oh, House of Pain is great, the Medea stuff is great. But then when he gets too successful, that's when people try to tear him down. But that's not it. I want it to come from a place of, I'm a big fan, been so for over a decade. I'm a consumer of his product, and without people like me, which includes all of you, he wouldn't be at billionaire status, you know, because we're the ones, you know, who watch the shows to increase ratings, buy tickets to go to the movies. And if you can't do that, you know, you spend money on like the Blu-rays, the DVDs, and what have you. So I feel that as someone contributing to the fortune, I want a product that's good. It's almost like, you know, I know this is completely out there, but I saw a meme and a friend posted, and it had to do with McDonald's. I think it was something about like all of my friends getting married and starting families, while I'm like, 5 McChickens, please. It was that meme that goes, you know, the meme where it's like Cyclops and Jean Grey making out, and then Wolverine's just standing there looking awkwardly into the camera. That's what it was. And I know this is just a weird segue, but I messaged her. I was like, come on, you're better than the McChicken. She was like, oh, but I love McChickens. And I was like, well, yeah, back in the day, I used to love McChickens, but the quality has high. See, this is all going back to the Tyler Perry thing. The quality just isn't what it used to be, because I don't know what it is about the McDonald's where I live at, but it's almost like they don't give a damn anymore. Like, I remember McChickens were delicious. Like, I could easily easily down 2 or 3 in one sitting like it's nothing. But the chicken, while not terrible, You got a glob of a glob of mayonnaise, and then a damn near a head of shredded lettuce, and the lettuce isn't even fresh; it's all brown. And it's like over time, I lost interest because at the beginning, you literally got a bang for your buck. Like $1 a sandwich tastes like it was worth $5. But then as the years went on, I don't know if it was because McDonald's got bigger or the workers just don't care as much. The quality in the food has sharply declined, and as a result, I haven't been to McDonald's in like a few months. If nothing else, I love their McChickens and the McNuggets. But to be completely honest, I think Wendy's outdoes McDonald's in nugget taste. Yes, I said it, really. I think Wendy's nuggets are now better. I don't know why, but they are. So the reason I made that random example, because this literally happened within the past 5 hours, but it does kind of relate to the Tyler Perry aspect, where back in the day, like the plays, the movies and everything, phenomenal. But now I just look at it now and it's like, I don't even know how much of it I want to consume anymore, because trust and believe, I'm probably going to give assisted living another shot this week, because I want to wait and see when Brown and Cora show up to see what the dynamic is there, because based on what I've been seeing, and I need to respond to the comments on my assisted living video, I only saw maybe 1 or 2 people who said they actually liked it, and I'm like, look, you're free to state your opinion. Like, you're not going to get attacked by me anyway, but I'll be like, I mean, were we watching the same show? Like, again, this whole channel is based off my opinion. And then when it comes to theories and all, I have, things that I present as evidence, but when it comes to my first viewing, that was just disappointing. Like, in the video for assisted living, remember, I did give some credit where credit's due. I like the theme song. I think the dynamic between Jeremy and his wife, I forget her name, I know it begins with an N, her name escapes me. Is it Leah? I don't know. Basically, Jeremy and his wife, I think they have decent chemistry. The 2 kids, I don't think some people are like, man, these teams, I think they were pretty decent. The only thing I saw flawed was when they were just like, I think the son was trying to like imitate his mom's angry face or whatever. That was a bit that I didn't think worked. But other than that, I don't think they were half bad at all. J. Anthony Brown, I think he's hilarious. Like, I love his stand up and whatnot. But he had a couple of funny lines, but I think it's just overly raunchy for no reason at all. But other than that, the material is just stale. So I do think overall that I don't even know if Brown and Cora can save it. I will wait until they come onto the show, kind of like House of Pain. I believe CJ, Miranda, and Jasmine are supposed to pop up. So technically speaking, the full cast will be in this week's episode. And hopefully the quality goes up in terms of the pacing and whatnot, but only time will tell. And on top of that, I think that by handing the reins over to directors and producers that he trusts, because based on like the different credits I've seen from various shows, they're kind of the same people, because he knows he can rely on them, which I think is a very admirable thing. But if Tyler had more time to spend on the writing, literally, the fact that he brags about writing seasons of scripts in 2 weeks and then films in sometimes, basically less than 2 weeks, give or take. Sometimes between like maybe 1.5 to 2.5 weeks, give or take, depending on like, the filming schedules. But it's easy to see why he filmed so quickly when and that's why I give Ruthless such praise, because it's really out there, with the Oval, and the Oval is like, ma'am, sir. When it's Sisters, it's all these dramatic pauses. When it comes to, Young Dylan's actually pretty decent. What's the other shows? Bruh, yeah, it does get a little repetitive. Yeah, it does get repetitive at times with the dialogue. It has that House of Pain and assisted living thing where sometimes there's a lot of repetitive dialogue where somebody will ask a question, it's like, and then somebody will say a joke. Sometimes they're funny, but then other times they aren't that good, but then they'll stretch it out. It's like, oh, I'm going to say something smart, and then Mike's going to react to it, and then somebody else will just pile on, and it's like, nah. Because I remember Bruh was I still like Bruh. Don't get me wrong. I like Bruh, but I feel like there are times where it's evident that it's like, yeah, Tyler's just kind of dragging this scene out. I just wanted to speak on the Viacom shows particularly because, well, Have Nots is the only other show that's outside of that Viacom bubble, and it's I don't even know what to make of it right now. My mom, she has not watched a single episode, and I told her, Ma, I want to be honest, you haven't missed anything, even though we almost got damn near a dozen new characters. Their story arcs just happen to be rinse and repeats of everything else. Oh, this person wants money, this person's trying to sabotage, and this person's trying to get revenge. It's literally the same old thing. So what do you think? Do you think if Tyler Perry wants to write, which again, he is a phenomenal writer when he takes his time, because if he took his time and gave us dialogue that wasn't like, I bet so, okay, this is something funny. I'll probably make a post on Instagram about this or whatever. On GameStop.com, they had a sale on shot glasses. So I got some Dragon Ball Z shot glasses. And as you all know, I do not drink alcohol. It's just a personal choice. It's not a health issue. It's not a religion. I swear it's like people, you went to Liberty. So no. Even before I went to college, I just decided not to drink. It just, no, I remember trying beer and wine before. Beer, nasty as hell. I don't know why people drink it. Wine, I'm not opposed to wine. Like, you know, if it's like a holiday or whatever, hey, it's all good. Wine ain't no shit. I'll do it. I'll drink that. But it's like, I won't obsessively drink or get drunk. But what I'll do is take my Welch's Sparkling, which I still have at least 5 bottles of, and I'll playfully, like, you know, take a shot for every inappropriate. That'll probably be like a live stream video I'll do. Like, hey, let's watch an episode of Assisted Living together. I will probably go through 3 bottles before the halfway point of an episode, though. Because it's like I'll just take a shot for every inappropriate use of a laugh track or a bad joke. Or like whenever somebody repeats a line. I swear I'll probably take like 50 shots in the span of 10 minutes. I don't know. Yeah, I'll probably do that before the end of the month just for fun. But yeah, let me know what you think. Do you think that Tyler Perry should still write? Which I'm not saying he should just quit. I feel like if nothing else, get a writer's room, take the helm of just the writing yourself, and then, you know, give more people a chance to direct and produce and whatnot. And then as time goes on, you know, just show us that increase in writing, because that's the most frustrating part. See, that's the most frustrating part about this. There's a difference between like, and again, if you are an Amy Schumer fan, this isn't shade towards you. I'm only speaking my opinion, but based on like, you know, a lot of compilation videos and whatnot on YouTube, it's been proven like the woman steals jokes. Like any of her original stuff really isn't top tier, but look how successful she is. So when I look at Tyler, here's the thing. I'm more disappointed and frustrated because we know good and hell well he's far more capable than what he's producing right now in terms of writing. Well, excuse me, what he's putting out there. Yeah, putting out there right now. So when it comes to like the writing of Assisted Living, because when I looked on Twitter, I was just like, holy crap. Like, I mean, the ratings, I think all the episodes got over 1 million. Yeah, for House of Pain and Assisted Living. But that was because it was the premiere, you know, and I just wonder what week 2 and week 3 will look like. I just think that maybe at the core, Tyler just didn't wear so many hats, you know, and I'm not going to sit up here and say, you know, give somebody a chance, because he gives and gives and gives. And that's wonderful. But when I'm talking specifically about the product, you know, and it goes back to the frustration, we know he's capable of putting out quality content. So the fact that he's made it to this stage of success, that's what makes it frustrating. It's like when you only had like finite resources, you know, basically like a limited set of a budget, how much you had to work with, and you were able to make, I don't want to say masterpieces, but you made quality content that is still talked about and beloved today. So now that you have one of like the biggest studio lots in the country, if not the world, what it was like bigger than Disney and like a crap ton of other places, and you're just putting out mediocre material, I just feel like that's a disservice to those who help you reach this level, the fans. So again, that's just my opinion, but this is probably, like I said, the last video I'll do on this, unless some big announcement comes out about something else he's doing, or some other show that comes out and it's trash. But I don't know. And it's like, also the comments I was reading, it's like a lot of people were like, yeah, Jeremy, you're right. Like you said, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Like, just because you can shoot a movie in like 5 days doesn't mean you should. And I'm like, ain't that the truth? It's like, I'm not saying you got to spend a year filming a movie or anything, because you don't use a lot of CG and whatnot like a Marvel film, but when you shoot movies that fast, it really does show, and not in a good way. And it's like when you brag about it, that's not a good thing, because again, it's impressive, but when you see that final product, it's like, oh, Tyler, come on now. So I don't know. Like I always say, you know what I'm at. Well, I don't know. Did Forbes even put out the mag? No, I don't think so. If Forbes put out the magazine, I definitely would have seen it, because yesterday morning I went to Walmart and Dollar General. I went a couple other places too, but I typically don't have magazines in there. So yeah, what was the other place? Ollie's and Dollar Tree. So yeah, I didn't see any copies of Forbes, so I don't think they put it out yet. So I'll still buy a copy. I'll probably buy 1 or 2 copies of Forbes, just because like I pretty much have copies of every like big magazine Tyler's been in, like People Magazine and whatnot. But you know, hey, I'm still gonna watch, because that's what I do here on the channel. I review. But yeah, just let me know what you think of this in the comment section below. And I might, like I said, I'll probably do a live stream in the near future, talking about this pretty much in, you know, live terms with everyone. So thanks so much for tuning in. And if you would like to join in the fun on Patreon, which honestly I need to, okay, I'm going to do a quick segue. I'll probably do a separate video on this. I noticed that other YouTubers, especially those who have like merchandise and whatnot, their Patreons, like they put up extra content and whatnot. I just discovered I don't have time. I really don't, because you all know how much I post on this channel, not to mention my eBay hustle on the side, which I got a crap ton of stuff to get ready for shipping by Wednesday, because I have items that will end by noon today. I was thinking this, I don't know. I know the donations on Cash App and PayPal are phenomenal. I know that some people say they have goals like, hey, I want to get like $500 a month on Patreon. And it's like what they'll do on Patreon is like they don't necessarily post extra content, but the Patreon is pretty much set up to allow for people to donate like $1 a month or whatever. So that way they're able to live off that money, because a lot of people I follow, like when I watch some of the older videos, is like, you know, hey, I set a goal for $100 a month. Now we're at 500. Now we're at 1,000. Now I'm able to do YouTube full time. So pretty much it's people giving like a love offering, so to speak, because their subscription to Patreon helps that person, you know, live off of the money so they can do YouTube full time. Because you all know, here I am putting out damn near 20 videos plus a week. So I was thinking that I would either revamp or scrap Patreon and just allow people to donate on Cash App or PayPal. I don't know. Like I said, I'll probably do a separate video or post about it, because the patrons I do have, I think I have 6. I just thank them all so much. I give them DVDs once or twice before, but I just feel bad because some people have literally told me, hey, I'm just donating because I love what you do. So I don't want to make it seem like I'm cheating people of money, you know, because I only have 6, you know, and they pop up at the end of the video here on the screen. So I don't want to make people feel like they're investing money in nothing. So I mean, like I said, I'll revamp it, but I'll come up with a game plan by the end of the month. Like I said, I'm honestly not even hung up on House of Pain and Assisted Living. Like I said, I may do reviews, but they might just be like the pains where it's so bad that I'll just, yeah, if it gets to the point where I'm just like doing like 20-minute rants, I'm going to stop. It's just like the pains when they came on. I'm just going to, I'll just focus on the haves and the have-nots, and Sisters is coming on next month, so we'll go from there. But like I said, I'll come up with a solid game plan soon and keep you all in the loop. But with that being said, thanks so much for tuning in, and if you would like to donate, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App. I'm getting donations a little bit, yeah, I want to say every couple of days, somebody, and I love, it's not just the donations, but I love the encouraging notes, like, you know, when you donate on PayPal, it's like, hey, keep up the good works, hey, I love the haves and the have-nots, and some people have been sending me emails too, just to say, hey, I love your channel and the shows you review. So if you can't donate, that's completely fine, but just by leaving a positive comment or something, that actually does go a long way, because it makes it really, it's one thing to see numbers, but it's another to know people take time to type out, hey, I love what you do, keep it up. It reminds me of back at work in the call center when we used to get when you helped a student, you know, over the phones, and then they'll sometimes send an email or call your supervisor and say, hey, this advisor they went above and beyond. It was like a praise email. It's like, I don't expect them, but it really does make it feel like, oh, I really am making a difference. So again, thanks so much. And kind of like the disclaimer of my other video, I said, like, you know what, man, I probably talked my way out of an eventual invite to Tyler Perry Studios someday, but it is what it is. There you go. All right, take care, guys.